All right. My next guest up tonight, he worked with John Travolta in Be Cool. He was in The Sopranos. Let's give him a late night welcome from my friend, Anthony J. Ribustello. How you doing, pal?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Doing all right, thank you.
Good.
Sorry I botched up your name before.
Not a problem. I'll call you Johnny Polenta from now.
That's all. That's my M.O. How was the trip down here?
Oh, nice. No, not too bad. Not too much traffic.
Now listen, you're born in New York, the Bronx.
Born in the Bronx, New York, yeah.
For people that don't know you, why don't you give them a little background about your family? How you grew up?
Well, I grew up a building that had 250 families, 18 stories, a lot of fun. When I watched the Jerry Lewis telethon and I saw a part of the Rat Pack with their tuxedos and having fun,
really?
I said, that's what I want to do. So I started from then.
Now, did you do commercials? Did you go?
No, I never. I got an education first. I started acting when I acted in high school, Guys and Dolls. I sang.
Oh, yeah?
I sang with the All City Chorus, All City Concert Choir. Luckily, I was able to sing at the Lincoln Center years ago when I was a kid. And then when I went to college, I continued that. I didn't major in drama, but I did some independent films while I was in college. Then I just got out, got some pictures, and kept going.
What got you? What was actually your first big break that got you to the next level? Was it Be Cool?
I would say it was Sopranos.
Yeah?
Yeah, because Sheila Jaffe, who casted, Georgiana Walken, who casted Sopranos, her partner Sheila Jaffe, put me up for Be Cool. It didn't even go through my agent.
Oh, wow.
It went through Georgiana, told Sheila, hey, this guy would be great for this role. So when I got the call to go in and audition, my agent had no idea. So that was how it snowballed.
Now, what year was The Sopranos that you were in? Because that's right. Cause
I was in the last 3 seasons.
Yeah. So Cool was 2005, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then what were you like?
I think 2007
Six,
the show
seven?
ended.
Yeah.
The show ended because they had an 18-month hiatus. Because, that show was supposed to end, and then HBO wanted, 13 or 18 more episodes, so they had to take some time to rewrite the ending, because the ending was already done and is in the can. And then they had to, it took some time, so we had a little space in between.
Love The Sopranos. I mean, I'm a big mafia, gang-related movie guy.
I would never guess that, John.
No, come on. But yeah, I mean, we had a lot of The Sopranos on the show, and I asked them the same couple of questions because everybody has their own different story. How was your audition for the part that you got as Tony's driver? I mean, were you up for another role? Or?
I'll tell you what, Georgiana Walken made it very comfortable. Casting people want you to make their job easy. They want you to get the part. She was so fabulous with it, because I went in twice. The first time I went in, I didn't get it. Another actor got it, and then he got 1 episode, and then he was on the wall, in a picture on the wall for the rest of his tenure.
What, he died?
I'm not going to tell you who it was.
I think I know who it was.
No, he didn't die.
Was it him?
He didn't die.
Not Tony, right?
I'm not telling. What part did you get when I said I'm not telling you? So then I got called back again, which was great, and Georgiana Walken was fabulous with the whole thing. She really was. That show was a wonderful show to do. You go to work every day. People made you feel like you were at home with family. The production assistants would, kiss you, hello, Anthony, it's so great to have you. It was unlike any other show I've been on. The production assistants, up and down the line, they were so gracious and so nice. Because some production assistants can be kind of, iffy. They can be cranky because they really want to be in front of the camera.
But once that show went off, the HBO budget on that was tremendous, because I did a lot of background work on Soprano. I saw how you guys were taken care of. I mean, just the food alone that was out was like unbelievable. I mean, there was cappuccinos, there was coffee huts, there was cold cuts.
It was like shooting a movie.
Then you had veal cutlet and eggplant and all that in another shandy, right?
Yeah. It was like shooting a movie every day. Every episode was like shooting a movie. I think we started because I'm good friends with Vinny, as you know.
Vinny Paz, of course.
When they started, it was an 11-day shooting schedule. When we ended, it was a 28-day shooting schedule. That's like shooting a movie every episode. It's crazy.
Now, I asked everybody, because this is important to a lot of people out there that are Soprano fans, and myself, what was like your fondest memory of James Gandolfini, you two guys together, something that someone wouldn't know about?
Okay. But the last season, there was a Christmas party. And I was starting to be regular on the show. I wasn't always I was getting more episodes. And I didn't get an invite to the Christmas party.
Really?
So I didn't go. And Jimmy was like, we started shooting, and I don't know if we were shooting the second to last episode in the house You know, when we go up the stairs into that little house, I pull into the driveway, go up the back
When
stairs.
you're hiding, yeah.
Right, we're hiding out. And he goes to me, he goes, well, where were you? I said, Jimmy, I didn't get the invitation, man. He grabs my shirt, grabs me, he goes, next time, you tell me. And he used a couple of expletives. You let me know, because I'm not gonna let them do that. You just let me know, and you should have been there. Mm-hmm. So that's how real Jimmy was. Yeah. Jimmy was just a great guy.
A lot of good stories
I
hear.
Oh, man, great guy.
Any more? One more?
I almost killed him.
How?
He did. If you remember, there's the van going through the beach house, going to the beach house. That blue, ugly van, and they had put new seats in it because the other seats weren't camera ready and they weren't so sturdy, but they didn't really bolt them down well. So I'm driving, he's in the passenger seat, and I, you know, all right, let's, you know, action. So I step on the gas, and the chair goes all the way back. It comes, the bolts come out of the floor.
And he's a big guy.
Yeah. So I grab him, and then I step on the brake, and I almost put him through the windshield. So, you know, so we had to stop and
What
fix
did he
that.
say? What the fuck?
Yeah, he was like, what's going on? I was like, hey, man, sorry, brother.
Oh, that's great.
So, you know, we had to fix it.
Now, let's get off to that. Let's go back to Be Cool. What about John Travolta? How was he working with?
John was cool. John was a great guy. Travolta. John was a gentleman. He was really professional. He was very cool. I'll tell you a story. You want to hear a story about that?
Yeah,
my first rehearsal with John, I had a 3-hour rehearsal. And I don't know if you know, it's like sometimes when you're doing a film, they have to bond you, so they have to give you a physical. So I just finished rehearsing with John, about 3 hours, and then I go see the nurse. The nurse has got the blood pressure cuff on my arm, and she's pumping the balloon, and she's looking at me like, you should be dead. And she's pumping and pumping. My blood pressure was over 250, over 150.
Get out of here.
Yeah. I was so like amped up because I just had a great rehearsal. I was just full of adrenaline. So then I had to breathe. I had to look at, you know, think about palm trees and the beach, and I had to calm down. Yeah.
Were you like a big Saturday Night Fever fan back in the day, or not really?
Well, I mean, who wouldn't recognize John Travolta as the icon that he is? Who doesn't recognize that? You know, and it was wonderful.
See, I have a funny story with John Travolta. I don't know him, but when I was a kid, I'm not going to divulge my age, but they were filming Fever, and I was a young kid, and he was just doing a scene, and he came out, he went to his trailer. There were thousands of people outside, because that's when Welcome Back Kotter was big. And it was pulling away. I jumped on the back of the trailer that John Travolta was pulling away, and his face came like about right here to me, and he looked at me like I was nuts. But I was so psyched because I was a little kid, and I was like, yeah. And then I jumped off, and it was like a movie itself, just him looking at me like, with his face, like, this kid's crazy.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Well, we were filming one day on Sunset Boulevard, and a tour bus just stopped and let out 60 people, screaming and yelling, running towards him while we were in the scene together. We had to get put into a different location to get everybody back on the bus, and I just turned to John. I said, well, sorry, man, happens all the time.
Did he have his body double?
No.
No?
Not when we were filming on Sunset Boulevard.
Those are great stories. Now, why don't we talk about the, when I was at the Reed when you and Lou Martini and the rest of the crew did it.
Right.
That was very nice. Why don't you talk about, what is it? It's a workshop right now, right?
Well, yeah, it's a workshop. It's called Crazy Horse Cafe. We go back to the original title. Vincent Pastore had a bar years ago in New Rochelle. It was his own, and it was my favorite part about this whole play is that it's real. He didn't sugarcoat it. He did nothing to it. It's not very flattering, but it's real.
But that's what went on.
That's what happened.
What was it, in the 80s?
In the 80s.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff happened in the 80s that you don't necessarily want to admit to today, but you know, he has the courage to do so. And you just have to go up there and you have to just do it.
So you're going to recapture an era. You got to recapture the era.
Oh, it's great.
And everyone who knows what went down in the 80s.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. I play a cocaine dealing, crack smoking bar owner. You know, I'm not a nice person.
That's great. Now, listen, what are the projects you're working on these days?
Well, you know, as you know, in February we're going to be doing the play again. So hopefully we're going to move that to a bigger venue, an off-Broadway stage.
Yeah,
so that's what my main focus is right now. You know, so I take it one day at a time. I don't care about filling my plate up. I just want to do something fully and have a good time with it.
It'll be nice. I mean, you know, like Steven Van Zandt, if anybody has the connections, that guy's got the connections.
Yeah,
I mean,
Steve,
if it goes right, hopefully that will go to Broadway. You know,
that's what our hope is.
I hope so too. You're all the best with that.
Thank you, man.
So now listen, that's your time. Where can people find you on the internet if they want to look you up?
Well, I'm in the Stone Age. I'm not. I don't have a web page. I don't have any of that stuff. Just keep looking for me on TV, and then.
Oh, you got to Google. That's what I Googled.
Yeah, that's. I don't like to do that stuff. I'm a pretty private guy.
Yeah, but you know you're an actor, so you got to.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I'll get with it this year.
I'll hook you up.
Maybe I'll get with it.
We'll talk.
Okay, great.
All right, Anthony, come back anytime.
Good pleasure, bro.
All right.